This right here is the best budget lens for beginners. Keep around and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Benjamin and this is Tales of a Ugandan Photographer. Now on this series I share my experience, my knowledge, skills and tips on how we can become better photographers, and if you're a client you get to know how this industry works and how you can be a beneficiary of photography and getting better deals, better offers, and pretty much to be in sync with what is happening in the photography world. So in this particular video I want to tell you about the best budget photography gadget ever. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 50mm 1.8. This I think is the most famous lens in the whole world, and there's good reasons as to why it is like the best choice lens for every beginner photographer. Like, if you must have one lens in your bag, this is the lens you want to have in your bag. Forget about the kit lens that comes with your camera, guys. This lens will give you everything, okay? Everything. Now, let me just open your eyes a little bit more. So the 50mm is a prime lens. Prime lenses do not zoom in or zoom out. They have a fixed focal length. That is why it's called a 50mm. It's not the way you would hear a 24 to 70mm. That means it has a variable focal length from 24mm all the way to 50, and so it actually has a zooming like ring. Yes, you can zoom in and out, but this lens right here does not zoom. So if you want to zoom with this lens, you simply walk closer or further to your from your subject, so it does not zoom. That is something important, very important, that you need to know. This lens has so many benefits, and one of them is its sharpness. Guys, this lens is super sharp. Like, I think of all the lenses that I have, I feel like all the other lenses I have are pretty it's sad, but guys, this lens is sharp. I think it's because of its elements. The inside elements are not movable. Like, it doesn't have moving parts like the other zoom lenses would have. So there are chances that it's sharp because it doesn't have moving parts in it. So that's an advantage. It has a metal ring around it, and it makes it durable. It's a generally plastic lens, but it's good, and it's a Canon version. I'm sorry for the guys who use other brands like Nikon and Sony, and well, I invested in the Canon family, so that's why. But it's the same. Some of these effects are pretty much the same with all the other brands. It doesn't matter. The 50mm is like the most treasured lens ever. The other thing is because it has a low aperture. This goes all the way to 1.8. Now I understand there's lenses there's 50mm that go all the way to 1.2, but also those come at a high price. You have to pay probably like $2,000 for, let's say, the RF RF mount lenses, the 50mm, I think 1.2 could be about $2,000 or something. You know, you would rather buy a new camera. But again, if you're a beginner, this will cost you about 600,000 here in Uganda. If you get a good deal, maybe 500,000, yeah. But if you're going to invest in your first lens, guys, the 50mm is definitely your first choice of lens to invest in. The other thing is, as beginners, we usually like to get this bokeh effect in our photos, yeah, the blurry background. This lens, my friends, is going to give you exactly that. It doesn't matter if you're using a cropped body or a full frame body. I don't know if you guys understand the difference between full frame cameras and APS-C or cropped sensor cameras, yeah. So if you're using a cropped sensor, this will be, because of the crop factor, it will be about a 75mm, okay, but on a full frame it's the 50, all right? Yeah, so when you're shooting low aperture like 1.8, you can actually get that soft, smooth, blurry background, you know, what they call the bokeh. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we love to see bokeh all the time, so this lens here can give you bokeh. The other thing about the 50mm is it will enable you still get good pictures in low light situations. Compared to other lenses, this lens will give you some pretty decent results in low light. Like in my experience, every time I'm shooting in low light, I would go absolutely the lowest it can go, like 1.8, get sharp images and you know, looking nice and bright, you know. Yeah, so this lens can do that for you. Yeah, this lens can do pretty much. And the other final bit I want to talk about is it has some macro abilities, as in macro photography is you shooting those tiny things to blow them, okay, to make them big. If you've been doing photography, you know that not all lenses can do macro. Yeah, they have limitations in how far they can focus depending on your distance. Yeah, so if you want to use this lens to focus on something, all you have to do is turn it the other way around onto your camera, and then you shoot with this side facing the subject you're shooting. Yeah, so it will enable you to get so close to objects that you're shooting. Let's say you want to shoot a ring, yeah, then you have to come this close. It will enable you to actually get a macro shot. So that's amazing. That's something amazing, and you don't get to do that with any other lens, just the 50mm. So in summary, like, isn't this the best budget lens for beginners? Yeah, I thought so. Yes, it is. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you've enjoyed the video, please like it and share it with your friends. Yeah, I have other videos that might interest you. Feel free to check them out. Yeah, again, thank you for watching. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye.